Yes, I got a new gaming. I guess I got a new chair. Anyway, here's some Game Boy accessories that's gonna. Okay, the first one's gonna probably be the most complimentary, but then it's gonna get turn into the most weird. So sit back. I'm going to talk about them. There was the Game Boy Link cable, which is actually a two-player Game Boy. It's actually an adapter to the other Game Boy you want to adapt it to. There's a four-player adapter for the Game Boy, which it needs four people, four copies of the same game, and the game has to be four-player compatible. And there's the Game Genie that you can enter cheat codes with. There's the Game Boy rechargeable pack, which you can see here. There's the Game Boy solar charger. So you're supposed to lay it out on the sun for 8 hours for full charge. Then you slip your Game Boy in it. You plug it into your solar unit into DC input on the side of the Game Boy, and it works. There's a newbie light. It sticks on top of the Game Boy, and you flip the switch, and it turns on the light. It takes the same amount of batteries as the Game Boy. You need 8 AA batteries. Jeez. And there's a Light Boy. It's the same concept as the newbie light, but literally it has a magnifying glass to make the screen appear larger. This time it only uses 2 batteries. Then there's the Light Magic. It's the same exact thing as the Light Boy, but it attaches to the Game Boy much easier. Then there's the Handy Boy. It's the same exact thing as the Light Boy, but it has like 2 stereo speakers, and it came with a controller kit. There's a Game Boy Booster, which it takes C batteries and it plugs into a DC input on the side of the Game Boy, magnifies and lights the screen just like the others. It has a cover for the front with new controllers. You can turn up the volume also on this thing. It also has a cartridge storage that holds 2 games. There is the Game Boy Camera, which is a game cartridge you can take a picture of yourself with the Game Boy. There's a Game Boy Printer, so if you want to print a picture that you took with your Game Boy Camera, it could happen. I mean, you can try it out. There's a Game Boy FM radio. Then there's the Work Boy, where you can plug in a keyboard and turn the Game Boy into a personal computer, just like if you don't want to use a monitor. Then there's the Hudson Soft Kiss Link, where it allows you to connect the Game Boy to the internet and download exclusive gaming content from Hudson's website. There's the Barcode Boy. It's a barcode scanner with games included, where you unlock certain features by scanning barcodes found on cards and merchandise. There's a Game Boy Pocket sonar, so if you bring a Game Boy on a fishing trip, you can detect fish up to 65 feet underwater.
What is going on?
The Game Boy has a mobile phone adapter and a sewing machine. I repeat, a sewing machine that comes with the game cart, where you choose a sewing pattern and the machine sews the pattern.
Huh?
There were also Game Boy shoes, with big platform shoes to fit your Game Boy Color. Yeah, you look so freaking awesome.
Oh, come on, why me?
This last one, I don't even know if I'm emotionally ready to tell you this, because it has to be like the most messed up thing I have ever saw. So sit back, here it is. The Game Boy Petty Sedate. It was intended for hospitals to help children relax when they're about to be put under for surgery. It's a pair of headphones you plug into the Game Boy. You can plug it into any portable gaming console, actually. But more importantly, it has a cup that goes over the child's mouth and releases the sleep gas. So it's the only gaming peripheral I know of that gasses you. Take a look at this character for just a minute, okay? Imagine that character being sedated while playing freaking Dr. Mario. What would that be like? Oh my freaking god, I was about to make a fake crap at the end, like the Game Boy nuclear missile, but nothing I can make up can top this. And honestly, of course, this thing was real. I mean, it didn't get released, but it was invented and patented. But still, though, like, why? Why this Game Boy has too many accessories. It's just like the NES that had too many accessories as well. What about the SNES? I'm pretty sure it had one accessory, I remember. It's the Super Game Boy. Like, Jesus, like that's only one accessory I know. There's too many. What is Nintendo coming up with? Like seriously, like Nintendo's literally coming up with insane ideas for any accessory for any portable gaming console. What the frick? Well, anyways, I don't know what Broken Guy would have to say about that. Wait.